Well, in the movie The Negotiator, first of all, early on, there's a line between the Samuel Jackson character and a woman playing his wife, and she says, "Well, you're a negotiator. You lie for a living." Lying is a really bad idea, and I never believed it in an hostage negotiation, and I don't believe in a business negotiation. One of the reasons that I hit it off with my friends at Harvard real early on, Bob Mnookin running the program up there, they put a heavy emphasis on teaching people not to lie. And just off the top of his head, while I was up there the first time, he said, "Chris, you know, what do hostage negotiators think about lying?" And I said, "Don't lie to anybody you're not going to kill." And they kind of laughed, you know, and they thought that was kind of funny, and then they got uncomfortable because they realized I meant it. But then I said, you know, but even then it's probably a bad idea, because somebody that they know is going to find out you lied. So I don't believe in lying. I think lying is a bad approach in negotiation. The other side's going to find out. In a business deal, you lie, they're going to find out. And they're still in your world. I also don't believe, you know, in the attacking kind of a negotiator. I mean, the tough pound the other side. It's just bad for business long term. People don't want to make deals with you anymore after a while. I mean, when I first got up to the Harvard program on negotiation in their class, I resorted to my hard bargaining techniques that I'd learned as a kidnapping negotiator. Kidnappers are businessmen, they're commodities businessmen. Whether we think it's horrific, they think it's a business. And I'd learned some very hard bargaining techniques that I used to just really pound people with. And they didn't know that I did it to them. I did it in a very invisible way. The problem was word got out. So the first 2 or 3 times, you know, I really slaughtered the other side, and then they started talking about it. It's like your reputation getting out in the industry, and pretty soon no one would talk to me. I mean, I'd sit down for a negotiation, they'd stare at me because they were afraid to say anything. Well, I spoke to a CEO in the energy business a couple of years after that, and he said, "I've got such a reputation in my industry as being a hard bargainer, nobody will deal with me. I got an agreement sitting on my desk right now. The other CEO was there with me the whole time. We negotiated every term. He's afraid to sign it because if you make a deal with me now, by definition, you've been beaten. And people now no longer want to admit that they've dealt with me, so no one will make a deal." So if you're a hard bargainer and you really beat the other side, word gets out. And it isn't long and you can't make deals anymore.
The question